You know, the interesting thing about young people is that they are moldable. And the interesting thing about society in many instances, we don't realize that we can play a significant role in molding our young people. Too often we are reactionary. We react rather than being proactive. And if we were to become more conscientious as as to the value of proactivity, then I think that would play a major role in making a positive contribution to our society. I'm so happy that there's a vehicle in our community, an entity and an institution that plays a significant role in proactivity in our community. And it deals with education, but specifically today, we're going to talk about the Hutchings Career Center. This is a call to action, and I'm your host, Alex Habersham. And I'm very happy to be able to interview two people who are associated with that fine institution. I am very, very happy to have these two people who are associated with a Hutchings Career Center. And before I get into discussion with them, I just want to say, and I told Dr. Washington just before we got on the air, the proof is in the pudding. And about 4 years ago, and I can't remember why, I went over to Hutchings looking for, oh, I know why, because I was looking for somebody to help me with graphic design. And then I went and talked to Miss Welch, and she recommended a young lady in the person of Miss Brooklyn Thomas. That's been 4 years ago. She was just finishing high school. She still works with me and have done the layout and the design on three of my publications. And you know, she didn't just stay here now. She's still here, but she's a junior at Middle Georgia State. So Hutchins Career Center lays a concrete foundation in getting young people into fields and into areas that can be advantageous to their future. I got another young man. He's been with me going on 3 years. And the young lady's name is Brooklyn Thomas. The young man's name is Stefan Towns, and I got him also from graphic design. And he is still with me. So I'm taking the time, Dr. Wise, to talk about that because there are other businesses and institutions and nonprofits who can benefit from smart young people who are engaging in some kind of vocational and educational activities, and it can be a win-win. You know, it was for me. They help my business, and I'm helping them. So we're gonna have a fireside chat about Hutchins, its administration, all of the pathways that it offers, what it takes, how we ought to encourage young people to sign up there. So I'm just happy to have this conversation. We're going to start with Dr. Wise. Doc, will you just tell us who you are and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having us this afternoon. Yes, my name is Dr. Weiss, Dr. Jason Weiss. I am actually going to be the director slash principal of Hutchins College and Career Academy. I started out in education in 2008, where I started as a marketing slash business teacher. I actually started in Baldwin County and moved over to Howard High School in Bibb County in the following school year. I taught for 5 years those subjects, and I moved in to become the CTA supervisor for the school district in 2013. I've had the privilege of working with every single one of the high schools. So I really get to see the benefits that each one of those high schools have to offer, especially when it comes to our CTE programs. But now I get the chance to work at Hutchings, where it really is kind of that jewel that pulls all of that together, all of our programs, the academics and the CTE kind of together to give our students what they need to be 3E ready, either employed or listed or enrolled upon graduation. I just completed my doctorate from Georgia Southern. I have my MBA and MAT from Georgia College and State University, and I'm just really excited about the opportunities that I have to work with Hutchins and prepare our students for their post-secondary options.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Washington, just give a quick overview of what you do and also explain what CTAE means.
Yes, sir. Okay. I am the executive director of CTAE and the CEO of Hutchins College and Career Academy. And CTAE stands for Career Technical Agriculture Education. And Georgia is the only one that uses the A because ag is our number one industry. Well, one of them. We have a lot of number one industries. The state of Georgia is the best state to do work in, and we know that. And I serve as the CEO for the Career Academy, and my role at the Career Academy is really about connecting business partners with our pathway. You heard from Mr. Habersham about having students come to work, and they're still working for him. And that's our goal. We want to be able to provide students with that real world experience in the classroom, but our goal is to really build that future ready pipeline, to take the talent that we have to create a true workforce pipeline for the Macon-Bibb County community. And as the CEO, that is my role, to make sure that businesses are aware that we exist and that you can actually hire students in the 11th and 12th grade and build your pipeline and to provide dual enrollment credits. All of our students have stackable credentials, which means they leave with more than a high school diploma. They leave with college credit and certification that is aligned to what the industry is looking for. So that's, to sum it up, that's what I do each and every day.
That is absolutely phenomenal. And very, very quickly, since I don't know whether you all have it or not, but I think it's important that we list the different pathways. Now, if you all want to do it, you can, because you all are where the rubber meets the road. But I do think it's extremely important that we just kind of apprise the community of all of these areas. Doctors, Washington and Wise, I have found that everybody, particularly young people, have buttons. They have a button. They have something that they are innately interested in. And, and different young people have different buttons. They have different talents and different aptitudes. And so there needs to be a vehicle for them to just kind of find out where their button is. They already have it, but sometimes they don't even know. So there are pathways, and it's important, and too many young people are getting into trouble. Too many young people are standing on the streets. Too many young people don't have skills, and there are so many jobs. Look, we can't say there are no jobs anymore now. We cannot use that as an excuse. I mean, some people are the industrial authority and other organizations, workforce development, they are pulling their hair out, trying to find young people and trying to qualify folk, to be able to have some kind of skill and get into some of these jobs. So let's talk about the pathways. No, let's do this first. Let's talk about, either one of you, the mechanics, of how Hutchins work and how it ties in with the other schools.
We are a program within the school district. So everything a student earns at Hutchings follows them back to their home school. So a student can either attend Hutchings for 3 periods in the morning or 3 periods in the afternoon. We provide transportation for them from their home schools to and from their home schools. And then they have the opportunity to go back, still take the rest of their academic required courses for the school year, as well as participate in all of our after school activities, whether it be sports or different clubs or additional CTSOs, one of our career technical student organizations. So everything that they have the opportunity to earn at Hutchins follows back them to their home school. So really we're that partnership between, and we just get to expose students to additional pathway opportunities that aren't necessarily tied to a specific school. is some of the pathways are those high demand areas like nursing and the healthcare field. So we really want to make sure that we open that opportunity to all of the students, not just students at a specific school. So the great thing about Hutchins is no matter what school you go to, you can still attend Hutchins, have that opportunity to that exposure to that pathway, and then go back to your home school where you can complete the rest of your academic requirements. So we're really that partnership key to them, a program for them.
Yeah, and I think it's important, for people to understand that they remain with their high school, but then they take a part of the day and then they attend Hutchins to enhance and their skills and develop their skills in certain areas, which in turn will parlay into a skill. And I was glad to hear Dr. Washington talk about that they get college credits and they get certification. So that's extremely important. Well, Dr. Washington, how does what's the recruiting process, the application process for getting into Hutchins, and are there any more slots available?
Well, I'm going to answer the last question first, and we have slots available. Maybe not in every pathway, but we do have slots available, and we can share that with you. And the main piece is we do a lot of recruitment with the schools. We also send a lot of reminds out. We do a lot of social media. We realize that that's where the students are. And we want to do social media and connect the dots for them. So if we start talking about aircraft structural, we then want to connect what types of jobs and skill sets you will leave with. So that way, a lot of times kids know of careers that their parents or family members have, but maybe it's a career that they have an interest in or an aptitude. And that's real big with us. I'm really following their youth science to make sure that they can connect what am I really good at that maybe I haven't tried, and what jobs will align with that. So when we start talking about one of our new pathways, such as cybersecurity, what does that mean? And the best way that I describe that is you're an ethical hacker. We think about what has occurred over the last couple of weeks, and you realize that we do have people that can hack, and that is always not in our best interest. But how do we avoid that? So if you have an interest in forensic science, then you like technology,
Wow.
and guess what? You become that ethical hacker that allows us to know how to create those firewalls to keep people out. And so kids have a lot of skill set, but maybe they can't connect the word cybersecurity to a job. So that's our goal, to really share with kids, what does that look like? And if you're already working in technology and you love technology, have you ever thought about that forensic science on the other end? Almost like we would say a police officer. What does that look like when you're thinking about solving a crime? Now it's just a different world where we're solving cybersecurity crimes because that's what's going on. So how do we do that virtually with technology to create a firewall to keep individuals out? So having this new pathway, we know that a lot of kids are asking questions, and we really want them to understand what type of jobs does that lead to. And when Dr. Weiss talk about the 3 E's, cybersecurity is in every single one of those 3 E's. The military is looking for ethical hackers every single day. They're actually giving sign-on bonuses. If you're looking for industry, they're looking for cybersecurity right here in Macon-Bibb County. And I mean, when you get ready to go to college, our post-secondary partners, Mercer, Middle Georgia State, Georgia College, they actually have cybersecurity programs as well. So we try to connect all of the dots for the students so they get a mindset of not only a pathway, but a direction of where this pathway can take them.
That is so outstanding. It's my understanding, Dr. Weiss, that it's also possible to get college credits, along with the certification that one would receive by taking a specific pathway. Talk a little bit about that, if you would. Then segue into, let's talk specifically about some of the pathways that I've seen. I've seen the credit union over there, and of course, I know about the culinary part. Ain't no way I'm gonna miss that. But then I've just seen, and I just know that there are all kinds of programs. So let's just talk specifically about them. Let's walk through Hutchins, Dr. Wise, for a minute with the departments.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we have fantastic pathways, a wide variety of pathways. It would take us a little while to list them all because we really wanted to make sure that we gave an opportunity to expose students to a plethora of different options, career options, post-secondary options. But one of the biggest benefits of Hutchings is, yes, our students can earn college credit and high school credit simultaneously. So normally in one of our traditional high schools, it would take a student 3 years to complete one CTE pathway. Well, at Hutchins, they complete that same 3-year pathway in 1 year because we're on what they call a trimester schedule. So every about 3 months, they will switch to the next class within the pathway because of the amount of time that they're with us to get that seat time in for the students. But what's great is actually embedded in those CTA courses that they're taking is the college credit, as well as the academic credit that kind of goes along with it. So really, students get the opportunity to earn 3 CTA credits plus an additional high school academic credit, all while taking really a smaller load of classes. So a student in our traditional classes would take 7 periods a day. When you come to Hutchings, you're only taking 5 classes a day. You have your 4 classes at your home school, and then the 1 class at Hutchins, even though it's broken down into 3 separate classes. And we're in partnership with Central Georgia Tech. We actually have articulation agreements, which says that the credit that they earn through Central Georgia Tech can actually be transferred. They can either stay with Central Georgia Tech, of course, if they would like to, and go on to further their education, or they can take that college credit and attend any other public college or university within the state of Georgia, and that credit will transfer for them. And all this is done free. All they have to do is apply for it as part of the dual enrollment program, pass the course, and earn that credit. It is a great benefit. If you want to kind of compare it, I think most students or most parents might have heard of like the AP program or the advanced placement program in high school. That's what they're used to thinking when it comes to college credit. And AP is a fantastic program, but at the end of that, you're not guaranteed that college credit because there is an assessment that they have to take at the end of their AP classes to earn that college credit, and they're not necessarily accepted everywhere. But with the dual enrollment credits, it is accepted everywhere. All the student has to do is complete the course, the requirements of the course in our programs, and that actual credit transfers with them wherever college or university that they would like to go. And just to kind of go through some of the pathways, some of our larger pathways, of course, we have the culinary, like you said, and hopefully with COVID restrictions lifting, we'll be able to open the Compass Rose Cafe back up. But we did have the meal box kits. I don't know if you had a chance to try those out. Our culinary chefs, Chef Hardy and Chef Robinson, really found a way to still provide that great real world experience to our culinary students and that prepping experience with the meal kit options instead of having the Compass Rose Cafe open. We have our nursing program. We have, we're actually starting a call center pathway in our partnership with Geico. So that ties back into our great partnerships that Dr. Washington spoke about. We have a construction. We're starting up engineering, cybersecurity, graphics, banking, our partnership with Mid-South. We have EMT, emergency medical. And then we have, oh gosh, we have so many different pathways. Dr. Washington, jump in and help me list some of those other ones.
And that's a new one, the warehouse distribution, but we're also bringing sports medicine. Very excited about sports medicine and working with occupational therapy and physical therapy to really get kids to look at healthcare in a multiple pathways. Industrial system technology is a pathway, and that's kind of that success story I shared with you, where we had a student that got hired during COVID as an intern and was kept safe and worked and actually obtained full-time employment in August of 2020. And he is now climbing the ladder, has been promoted to second level operator at Purdue at the Cook facility. And you just imagine being 20, and I don't want to quote his salary, but I know when I was 20, I was not making that per hour.
Yeah.
I do know that he has his own apartment and a brand new car of the same year. I always laugh with the kids when they tell me they have a 2021. I was like, you have a true brand new car. So knowing that that's life changing for students, that's allowing students to become a part of the community as productive citizens. And when we talk about our vision and mission with Bibb County School District, that is a line that students will graduate college or career ready. So this is an amazing opportunity for the students as they enroll with Hutchings College and Career Academy.
This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham, interviewing Dr. Jason Weiss of Hutchings Career Center, who's the director, and Dr. Cassandra Washington, who's the general, the CTAE director for the Board of Education. Yeah, Dr. Weiss mentioned a couple of other, at least one more pathway that's very, very important. As a matter of fact, that pathway is making a contribution as we speak to this show. So you want to talk about that just for a minute, Dr. Weiss?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Of course, we have a couple of different pathways that I forgot, but one of the most important ones and a really big growing industry in Georgia is our audio, video, and film pathway. We have a state-of-the-art studio within Hutchings, and we are really trying to train students how to fill jobs in that field, both in front of the camera, behind the camera. Even if you really are interested in writing, script writing, there's so many different industries that fall into the film, audio, and video genre that we really just want to make sure that we touched on that one. Of course, we also have cosmetology, we have construction, we have teaching as a profession. That is one of the fields that we really are dear, of course, to our hearts working for the school system is we need teachers. And that's one of the big pathways that we have. We have a fantastic instructor that is able to really help train our future teachers because we really need those individuals to help our students go to that next level.
That is so outstanding, and I think it would be robbery. You know, people use the expression. Some people said, "I don't think it will be robbery." Well, I'm using the expression. I think it would be robbery if, in fact, you know, every available slot at Hutchings is not filled, because every time there's an empty seat, every time there's an empty slot, then that's a missed opportunity for one of our young people. And because there are so many pathways, then, you know, it seems to me that Hutchings has something for everybody. So, Dr. Washington, you can go first. Let's talk about, you know, how the community can help you in reaching capacity, and maybe some individual things that individuals and organizations and entities and churches and fraternities and sororities and everybody can do, you know, because, you know, it takes a village. And every time we teach a child and save a child, then that contributes to the well-being of our community.
Yes, sir. And one of the things I truly believe is students are excited when they hear about things, but it becomes realistic to them when they can see it. We are always open for tours. So if we have organizations that want to do a Saturday tour because they have a group of students that they meet with regularly on Saturday, please don't hesitate to call. I promise you, a staff member will meet you and give a full tour and provide you with some Hutchins swag that we utilize in making graphics. So we would love to give a tour. And that's one of the things we really want to do. We want people to know that our doors are open. We even have private school kids coming. We have students from Mary Person coming, Georgia Academy of the Blind. We teach all students, and all students leave with credentials. And we really want the community to know that we don't want to be the best kept secret. We definitely want their support to share and to highlight what Hutchings can do. So one of the main things is allowing us to provide tours to organizations, churches. We have a conference area, and that is one of the reasons why our conference center was built inside of Hutchings. So you can come and have a meeting. That way, the more adults that are aware of what we do inside of this building, they can share that story. We'll gladly allow you to host your meeting here on a Saturday, and you give us an opportunity to tour the students. So the goal is that we have to do this together, and that students realize that one of the reasons we went to a program status is so they can have the best of both worlds. So they can still play basketball and football, be a cheerleader. We don't want you to make that decision in high school, but we want you to start thinking about what will my career be while I'm in high school. So it's the best world for a student and for parents, because that way students can start being exposed to different careers. And when you get to college or you go to the military, you don't have to keep making changes. You get a chance to explore now to get the right fit. And that's the main thing that we want the community to know, is that our doors are open. We're a phone call away, and all they have to do is call us, and we will work with any individual. So no matter what organization you're in, we'll give you the room for free on a Saturday, and you allow us to allow the students to tour. So it's a win-win for both. And I think that is how we're going to actually continue to build that pipeline for the Macon-Bibb County community, because we do have a lot of job openings. Every day a business is calling, trying to connect of how can we partner? How can we make a connection? And businesses are co-signing pathways so they can be the first ones to actually get an opportunity. And I always say this, Purdue co-signed IST, but he can't hire everyone. So that means, Tyson, you have individuals that can be hired from that pathway. All that means is that they are truly prepared for work. They leave here with college credit, credentials, and hands-on experience, knowing that this is what they want to do. At the Career Academy, our 3 Ps is present, prepared, and professional. Students leave with those 3 Ps. So our goal is that we are not the best kept secret, that everyone is aware of what happens on 1780 Anthony Road.
Well, I'm going to end it by recommending Hutchings Career Center. And when I opened this show, I said the proof is in the pudding. And I have 2 young people from that fine institution that are doing very well. And I'm so happy that I walked into 1780 or whatever that address that Dr. Washington. What is it, Dr. Washington?
It is 1780 Anthony Road. And I always tell people we're diagonally across from Henderson Stadium. Everybody knows where Henderson Stadium is located.
Right. I'm your host, Alex Habersham, encouraging information about Hutchings Career Center, talking to Dr. Cassandra Washington, who's the CTAE director for the entire board, and with Dr. Jason Weiss, who is the director and the principal of Hutchings Career Center. Now, don't just stand there. Don't just look there. Don't just listen there. Do something. Do something as it relates to recommending students and supporting Hutchings Career Academy. This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham. Remember, we are now on podcast. Have a great day.